Hello everybody. Today we are going to create a project that you can use by using up those scraps that you have. We are going to make keychains. So these can be used as key fobs or keychains just to hold on to your keys, or if you actually make them a little longer, they can actually be lanyards. So what you're going to need for today is scrap piece of fabric, and you're going to need one of these hooks. This is an eyelet hook. It rotates, a clasp. I don't know the name for them, but they spin. This is a lanyard hook. Okay, so simple project: a scrap piece of fabric and your hook. Grab your scissors as well, basic scissors. I have my little snippets here that I love, and of course we're going to use a ruler. So just so that you get an idea, this piece of scrap fabric is 18 inches long. That's 18 inches, and it is 4 inches wide. 4 inches wide. Okay, so 4 by 18. You're going to start off doing something so simple. This actually was a scrap piece of fabric from some fabric that I already had. This is the folded part of it, and I love saving these folded portions and cutting the outer parts because I know that I make keychains with the scrap parts that I sell. So 4 inches when you open it up. You're going to start off with doing something so basic. This is such a simple project. Okay, what we are going to do is we're going to open up that fabric. If you don't have a fold in the middle already, go ahead and just fold it so that your raw edges meet each other. Okay, fold it. So if you don't have that natural fold, fold it over so that your ends touch each other. Okay, so that you have wrong side to wrong side. Okay, then what we're going to do is we are going to fold these raw edges inside into that middle portion there. Okay, all the way down. We're just going to fold it so that they meet the line directly in the middle. After that line meets in the middle, go ahead and take the other one, fold it up so that it meets it. Okay, you can finger press it with your fingers for right now. Okay, look how simple that is. And then all we're going to do is fold this over one last time. Okay, so look, all we did was fold into the middle. We brought those raw edges into the middle, and then we folded over. Now what I'm going to do, just because it makes it a whole lot easier just to flatten this out, I'm going to iron this down. It makes it very easy to sew when you iron down your material, your fabric. Okay, it does the hard work by itself if you flatten it out. Okay, go ahead and cut off those stragglies if you have some, those loose threads. Okay, so now at this point what we're going to do is we're going to sew a straight line down the left and the right side of this fabric on the edges. You see this? We're going to sew a straight line all the way down both sides of the fabric. So one long strip, one long row of stitching. Start off with the part that is open first. So start off with this portion first. Okay, so from the top down to the bottom. Bring in my machine, and I am sewing on 3.0. 2.5 is really tiny. You don't want to sew on 2.5 because if you make the mistake, it is really hard to get those stitches out. Okay, so I'm sewing close to the edge. Remember to backstitch. I'm sewing. What I'm doing is I'm closing up this portion right there so that we have the pretty edges. Now I'm going to leave that in. I'm going to lift up my foot. I'm going to turn my material. That's called pivoting, when you leave your needle down and you lift up your foot. And I'm going to put my needle back down, my foot back down. I'm just sewing along the other side. I did that again. Let's see. Let me show you. My needle is down. I'm lifting up my walking foot. I'm turning the material. Hold on. Okay. So my material is still in there, still in place, and now I'm going right along the edge all the way down the bottom. Okay. If it makes you feel comfortable to know how to sew a straight line, if you look at your sewing machine, there's a guide marker right here. And you can actually sew with your fabric right here, lined up directly under there, if that's going to help you learn how to sew a straight line at first. We're almost done. Very simple, quick project. Remember to backstitch. You don't have to close up the other end. I'm going to show you what we're doing with that. Okay, so now you take your little clasp, this one right here. Find which side you like best. Doesn't matter. I'm looking at the patterns on this side. They're blue donuts because I got this on this fabric on clearance. Or this side of the pattern, the donuts are a different color. I'm going for the navy blue and the red and white. I want that to be my outside. So I'm going to put my material, put my fabric through the hook the way that I just did. I'll do it again just so that you see. Pretty side is facing up. This is going right inside of here and pull. Okay. Now what I'm going to do, I have pretty sides facing me. Pretty sides facing me. Okay. Put those pretty sides together. So right now it seems twisted. That's the way you want it. Okay. You want it to look like it's twisted. Okay. We're going to sew right across this here, right across, because we want to close this up. Remember to backstitch. And I'm backstitching again because I like to. I always put more stitches than what I need to. Okay. And now we're going to turn it the correct way. We're turning it the correct way. So it was originally like this. We're turning it the correct way. Okay. And now what we're going to do is slide your hook down to the other side. Okay. Make sure it falls in between this little part, in between the raw edges there. Put it in that little divot there, in that little pocket. Okay. You can snip off any strands later on. Okay, and now what we want to do is we want to sew a straight line right across, because that straight line that you sew across is going to hold this in place. Okay, so I'm putting it here, and of course I'm backstitching. I'm holding this part with my fingers because of course we don't want it going underneath the machine. And actually you can feel where the straight edge of this hook is. So I'm not even touching it. My foot is not going near it. Okay, doing a straight line, and of course backstitching. Okay, and I am done. And guess what we just did with your scraps? We just created a very simple keychain. Okay, so you can just cut off snip off your extra threads, and that's all. Look what we just did. So now we have one that looks just like this. If you wanted to make this a lanyard to make it longer, like if you're a teacher or if you would like a lanyard for work, what you want to do is cut off about 36 inches. So instead of it being 18 inches when you first start out, make it to 36 and then follow the same exact directions. So the 4 inches by 36 long, and that will give you a lanyard, which is a good size. Okay, so that's about all for now. This is a good project to do with your scraps, and go ahead and you can also check out another video that I'm going to do. We're going to make earbud cases in the next video. So we want to get you to be able to use all of that fabric that you buy and not just have random pieces laying around. Okay, so make some keychains, give them away as presents or stocking stuffers. You know, it doesn't matter if somebody likes piano, they like music, they like donuts, they like anything. So go ahead and make some. Okay, all right, that's about all. See you on the next video.